I'm Al McCoy with just a couple of minutes of your time. I think we all know that sometimes the road of life has some bumps, and those bumps can be tough to get smoothed out. Well, you know what I'm talking about when I tell you I found some of those bumps in my road of life when I discovered that my wife was suffering from dementia, a wife of over 50 years, and I suddenly realized that I was not going to be able to give her the type of care that she needed. And with my work schedule, I had to start thinking about a caregiver. Now, a lot of people don't know what that means, a caregiver. What do they actually do? Well, I started investigating the situation, talking with various people, various companies, and I just couldn't seem to find what I felt would be the right mix, the right fit to take care of a loved one in my home. And I think you'll agree that's a very big decision to make. But I was lucky. A good friend of mine had been using the services of the folks at Right at Home and told me how happy they were with the care their mother was getting and how tremendous the caregiver was and how helpful she was in every phase of need. So I called the folks at Right at Home. I spoke with Becky and Mark, the owners, and their staff. They came out to my home. They met my wife. They looked at our overall situation and determined what was needed for me. And I found out right away the things that a caregiver could do for my wife, and they were all important things. Obviously, you're concerned about just the overall care, making sure she gets her medication on time, making sure she's able to get around, in and out of bed, making sure that she's taken care of in the shower, making sure all of those things that we might just take for granted that a person having these problems that needs a caregiver needs. And this is exactly what I was able to get from my caregiver at Right at Home. Now, we met, they introduced my wife and I to a number of their caregivers, and fortunately, we were able to select a young lady that my wife just fell in love with and received not only the care, but the compassion and the love that I think we all like to have when we're thinking about bringing someone into our home to take care of a family member or a loved one. So all those things that I've mentioned, the overall care, the medication, getting out of bed, making sure there's no falls, the walking, just keeping the attitude of that individual up, well, it can be a full-time job. The job they do with their people at Right at Home gets an A+ from me. So let me suggest, if there happens to be, in the future, some bumps in your road of life, and you'd like to get them smoothed out, and it requires a caregiver for someone you love, make that call to the folks at Right at Home. You'll be glad you did. And thank you very much.